Good morning, good afternoon, good night, my dears. Welcome to the Worldwide Podcast, Nepal edition. And for the first time, that's literally good morning, good afternoon, good night podcast because we are recording at night right here in Brazil. Guilherme is in Chile, he's at night too. And our guest is in her morning right now. But before introducing our guest, I just want to ask, how is Guilherme? How are you doing, man? Where have you been last month? Where are you right now? Just update our public a little bit.
Guys, how y'all doing? We haven't recorded in a while. We did a little pause, schedule some new podcasts. So we have a little lineup. And the lineup is looking good. A lot of
Yeah, yes, it
Asia.
is. Yes,
I'm
sure.
happy. I'm happy. A lot of like under countries. Nepal is one of them. I mean, obviously Nepal is very known to the public, but is it very known besides the Himalayas? I don't
Yeah.
think so. So I'm very excited about this episode. And before introducing our guest, guys, an update would be way too big. But I'm going to tell you, I am loving Chile. But there's one thing that I'm not loving. And I just told our guest, it's the food. I'm sorry, Chileans. I'm sorry. But when you have so much food from Venezuela and Colombia,
Yeah.
there's no competition regarding Chile. It's just not too good, and it's expensive. That's the other thing. I can eat arepas for like 500 Chilean pesos, or I can eat like pastel de chocolate for like 6,000 Chilean pesos. So I'm happy to talk about Nepal because Asia is probably the continent with the best food in the world, especially street food. I mean, there's no other continent that compares to street food in Asia, and Nepal is no different. So, introducing our guest, Manjita, who has a food blog. I'm gonna call it a blog or like a channel. How are you doing, Manjita? How are
I'm
you
doing
doing?
great. It's 9 a.m. in the morning and we're talking about food, right? So yeah, I'm doing great. Let's talk more about food.
For sure. Let's actually start through that.
Okay.
That don't know, you have an incredible food account or a food business. It's a food business because you do these videos, and not only do you do these videos about like food from everywhere, but you do it from food from Nepal. And the good thing about that is that you
That's pretty
represent
cool.
your country, give more information for foreigners and Nepalians about where they can eat for good food, good prices, how to access those places, and just information about the food. And that's just incredible to me. So you do this. You bring more tourism to your country than the government. I'm gonna tell you that. Hey, you're a tour guide. You're a tour guide of Nepal. So
Pretty
get
good.
the title from me. So talk to us a little bit why you actually started this food business.
Okay. So if you talk about like right now, you're saying that, my account is a business, but that's not how I actually started. I'd done I had completed my plus two, like it's high school, and after that you're supposed to join a bachelor's college. So during that time there's a 6 months gap, and I had nothing to do. I was staying home, I was doing nothing, but I used to watch a lot of food channels on TV and then on YouTube, and I used to get really like hungry. I used to crave for a lot of food, but back in that time I didn't have a lot of money, a lot of resources, and back then there wasn't much restaurants that served like varieties of food. It was going to restaurant was just during festivals or like for great celebrations and all, only back
Mhm.
then. It was like 6 years ago in Nepal. So I used to watch those episodes, like shows, and I wanted to recreate it so that I could eat it. So I would
You just wanted to eat the
watch.
food, not even do the
Yeah.
video.
Yeah, that is all I wanted to do.
The video was an
So
extra.
yeah, the food. So yeah, I used to recreate those food by watching many YouTube videos, and after I was done, I would take a photo just for a memory, just one photo, and I would post it on my Facebook, my personal Facebook and Instagram. So during that 6 month time, I tried a lot of food. I made food by my own. I did not visit anywhere. So after I joined my bachelor's, what happens is everybody wants to know what's your Instagram, what's your Facebook, and all that. Everybody's sharing their profile. And when people used to go to my profile, all they could see was food, not me. I wasn't there, there were a few photos of me, and like all the other posts were just food. And one of my friend from bachelor said, dude, what are you doing? You got to post this on another platform. You got to make an account and you can post it there, but you got to make your Facebook, your Instagram about yourself. So that's what I did. I posted it on my on a different Instagram. I named it My Darling Food for some reason, because food is my darling, right? So yeah, that's how I started posting. And I used to go to my master's classes every single day, like 6 days a week. And I used to post everything that I ate during that time. It was 100 Nepali rupees, 100, breakfast, lunch, all that stuff. And people used to, they used to ask me questions about where I ate it on the comment. It started with few comments, and then it turned into a lot of comments. And that is when I started writing all the descriptions on the profile, on the post itself. And somehow got the attention from the restaurant owners, and they wanted me to review it. So I didn't go for the business, but the people called
It
me
got
up.
pushed to
And
you. Yeah. It got
Yeah,
pushed to you. Wow.
yeah, that's
that's
how
pretty
it
cool.
happened. And I kept on continuing because it was going really good. And I loved doing what I was doing. I did not know I was gonna come this far, but it just happened.
That's the best way
Yeah.
to start it, when you come up
Yeah.
with the idea, besides of business. When you come up with, I like this, I love this, and I just watching those YouTube videos and seeing all those food that I want to reproduce, and then just come off naturally with you. And when the success come naturally, that's the best way to to come over, and then just to continue to do this, right? That's pretty cool.
Right.
And congrats,
No, for sure.
by the way.
Yeah.
When there's no pursuit, especially starting out of money, and you just do it because you love it, is the best way. Because from my own experience, if you're doing something, especially video related, and you don't like it, it's miserable. It's the mindset of money, like I'm gonna get sponsors, I'm gonna get ad
Exactly.
revenue, blah 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 blah. First, the videos will never come out as genuine and authentic, and people see through that. It will never succeed. Second, you're doing them obligated. Like I must do
Exactly.
this
Yeah.
in order to make revenue.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, you're just gonna be miserable. Never good. So you, especially in the video and in the content creation industry, you have to find a niche and a type of video for format that you love to create, especially if you don't make money throughout
All kinds
many
of
months.
online contents,
You
bro.
just,
All
yeah,
kinds of online content.
all kinds of creation. You just have to
Yeah.
do something that you just love to do and love to see the outcome. If you
Right.
don't, again, you're not gonna love it, and it's gonna show in the
You want
long term.
success.
Yeah, for sure. And for you, Manjita, like it started as like pictures with like short descriptions. Then
Yeah.
then it came out with like pictures with longer descriptions, and then it came video format of you showing yourself these types of foods, right? You eating the food, you showing the place. So it's also, let's call it an evolution, right? You start very simple, then you like understand the industry and your skills. You start to adapt your skills, make them better, and then it just formates into like this whole, let's call it now, business, right? So it's
Yeah.
also, it also takes time. It also takes time, especially if you're doing it on your own without an editor, a film, or whatever it is. So
Yeah. So
for sure,
when I,
congrats.
yeah.
No,
so
okay,
when I
go,
started,
talk, yeah.
it was just food photos, right? And then I used to take it from my phone, and it wasn't like as good. It was like, I'm just taking it. And then I wanted to make it better. And I started taking better photos, better angles, by learning from internet, what's the best angle. And after some time, I started making videos, right? From 2019, I switched to video because I realized that Instagram was pushing videos, not photos. Static photos was not getting any insight. It was like really low. So I, went there. And until 2022, I had not revealed my face. It was all about food. It was still all about food. I was not there. Everybody wanted to know who I was. And that curiosity was like there. And for 6 years, it took me 6 years to reach 50,000 followers. And it took me 6 months to get 30,000 more. Yeah.
Wow.
So
When you started showing your face a little bit
yeah.
more and your persona and a little bit of that.
Yeah.
People
So
love
I
that's
this.
feel
how
like
People love
important
this.
it is.
I feel like people have to relate, right? Connect.
Yeah, to someone.
Because people want to follow people. People don't want to follow brands
Yep.
Yeah.
or companies. And when they see your name, let's call it My Darling Food, sounds like a company name, right?
Yeah.
Company. But once they see you, it's like, okay, I can connect to her, right? She's eating the food, she's explaining the food, but I'm also understanding that she's liking the food, that she's passionate about eating and explaining the food. I feel like this relatability and connection is one of the prime examples of why content creators succeed more than businesses in terms of like YouTube, content creation, and all these things. Because yeah, again, people want to follow people. So it was a smart move. Obviously, you're doing that, and I'm very happy that you keep doing that for sure. 100%.
Thank
Because it also takes courage, right? One thing that people might understand is when you start doing videos, talking to the lens, it's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Like being comfortable around a camera is not easy. It took me quite a while, and I would call myself an extrovert, but it still took me quite a while to be able to look at the lens and talk naturally.
You're not,
So
recording many times the same stuff. It takes
yeah,
time for you to, it's too hard for you. Let's say that you're really good person in front of the lens, but still, it's going to take you one or two or maybe three times recording the same video for then reach
Yeah.
the stage that you want to reach with this video and pass the message you want to pass. So yeah, it's pretty hard.
Agreed.
100%. So let's talk about like Sonny's video, right? Because that was a big thing for you, and obviously that's how like I found you, and many people probably also found your channel. How was it like to be in probably I'll call it the biggest food channel on YouTube, like especially the most different? Because Sonny takes the food topic and makes it like super unique because he explores the country. He goes into unknown places. He wants to try the actual really local foods. He tries the street food. Like explain to us how was that whole experience with Sonny and recording with him and
So
everything.
I'll start from how I was reached and I'll get to the shooting day, right? So what
Yeah,
happened
yeah.
is, if you talk about best ever food review show, I used to watch that a lot. I am subscribed to it. I had that bell icon clicked, and I used to follow it a lot. And even when I started My Darling Food, I used to watch a lot of his video because it was a great source of inspiration for me. And there were other, like channels as well. But what
Mhm.
used to stand out for me was the humor he would put. When I used to watch those videos, it would feel like I was talking to a friend. I'm getting information, but also I'm talking to a friend. It's not boring, right?
Mhm.
That's the kind of feel
Yeah.
it used to give me. And when I got the message that, that they want me to apply for co-host and they were coming to Nepal, I was like, dude, is this a scam? I seriously feel like it was a scam because it came from a weird name because it was not a Nepali name or like an English name. And I was like, is this a scam? Why would people do that to me? And I wrote, is this for real? Are you real? Is this really happening? And the
Is it
one
really
who,
you?
yeah, me, right? So I asked them if it was really real, and then, yes, it's really happening. And they sent me, email and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, so that is really happening. And I was approached. I was so happy. And the other side, what happened is they wanted me to send a video, like they had few questions, and I had to reply to it through a video. So Nepal has so many things. I don't know how to put it in one video, and it had to be short. I gave it a lot of thought. I like answered all the questions. I made sure that everything in Nepal was covered, like basic stuff, and I sent it. And yeah, there was another round. I got chosen after that, and they actually came to Nepal. I was there in the shoot, and what I had thought is that the team is gonna be like really, like there would be a lot of people. The production team is gonna be like anything, because the quality of the video looked awesome.
Yeah,
And I saw,
TV.
yeah, there were only 4 people, like including Sunny,
Wait,
the producer. Yeah.
That that's really
wait,
little.
no,
Yeah,
no, 4 people. I thought it was a crew, like 10 people. That's crazy.
that's
So
insane.
Wait, I
we have
have to
on ground
applaud
and off
Sonny.
ground.
Wow, that is insane. João,
Yeah.
his videos are more than Netflix quality.
Yeah, I've
Like
got to
Yeah.
check,
they
but
are
it sounds very
the
insane
production
because
level.
yeah,
I worked
Yeah.
in a production company, and I can say doing those types of things, it's hard. 4 people, including the talent. Congrats to Sonny. Wow. Truly, I respect it so much. Wow, that's amazing.
all
Continue
right.
your story, Manjita. Sorry.
So I was saying, yeah, so
Disclaimer.
they
Yeah.
have on ground and off ground team. So 4 of them were the on ground team for Nepal. And,
Mhm.
I was feeling overwhelmed. I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh, okay, what am I supposed to do? When am I supposed to talk? How am I supposed to talk? But when Sunny comes and he sits with you and he starts talking, it's like, he's just a friend from that video. I've been watching him. He makes you feel that way. And that's how it went. We ate a lot of food. We were interacting with people. We were actually having conversations. It didn't feel like we were being, filmed or anything. We were just having conversations. He was
Recorded.
asking questions just like someone from abroad, a friend from abroad came to Nepal, and he wanted to know about Nepal, and he's right here with me, and we're going for food hunt. There's no one else. It's just the 2 of us. That's how it felt. And even the entire crew were like, they were like friends. They were like
That's
making
pretty
us
cool.
me feel so comfortable. It didn't feel like we're doing a huge thing. We're like shooting and all that. It wasn't that, but yeah, when I saw the outcome, I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
amazing
okay,
to hear.
there, this happened. Okay.
Amazing.
No, no, it's really something to be proud of. You were amazing in the video, and you represented Nepal in a
Yeah.
mainstream way really well. So you have to be happy about it for sure. So
Yeah.
congrats on that for 100%. And now talking about the food, what would you say it's like the must street food in Nepal? Because I've heard about, wait, I put it here in my notes. The oh, wait, where is it? Oh my god, I forgot. Oh, dalbat,
Yeah,
dalbat,
dal,
dalbat, dalbat.
dal
It's
bhat
rice, dalbat.
and
Okay, wait,
lentil.
yeah, rice
Not
and
bad.
lentils. And I've heard it's eaten every day, morning and dinner, because it's nutritious and it's cheap. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, it is true. It's like the comfort food of Nepal. We have it for lunch, and then we have it for dinner as well. You can replace it with roti. It's, what do you call it? Bread. I don't know, flat
Right.
bread.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can replace it with that if someone's on diet, but it's usually, like lentil, vegetable or meat, and then it's rice. That's what we have. Like after this podcast, that's what I'm going to eat. If I
Amazing.
have, that's what we have. It's the culture at home, anywhere you go, be it at home, be it at any party, it has to be there. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I was
So
thinking
how,
if
how do you
Portugal has
pronounce
one,
the
but I don't
name
think
of the
so.
meal?
Dal bhat.
Dal pot. All
Dal
right.
pat.
Yeah.
Dal
Dal
pat.
pat.
Dal pat.
Dal
Dal
pat.
pat. Yeah.
We,
Okay.
we call it
The next 5 minutes is just going to be me and João trying to
Yeah,
pronounce the
dal
name.
pot. Dal pot. Yeah, just going to be
so I'll
you
ask
playing on the
I'll tell you
podcast.
guys one
Yeah.
thing that there's a really popular quote in Nepal which is dal bhat power 24 hour.
All right.
Dal pat power 24 hour. Okay. Dal pat power
Yeah.
24. Wow, that's a
Dal pot
that's a
power
dope
24
name.
hour.
I'll remember
Yeah.
that. I'll remember that actually. I'm going to include that in my next rap song.
And probably eat
Dal
dal
pat
pot
power.
tomorrow just to get 24-hour energy. Let's go.
Yes.
Just before going to the gym, before working out. That's the food you should eat. That's pretty cool.
Maybe
Let's
not.
go. Yes, sir. Maybe
It's
not.
You're gonna
All right.
vomit on your. You're gonna
Just
vomit
vomit.
on your gym.
No,
when
not
you're
just
doing
before going right
stand-ups,
there.
you go. Bleh.
I mean, 1 hour, 1 hour before going to the gym, bro. Just not
Okay, that's a bad idea. That's a
puking
bad idea.
during gym. No, don't want to do that.
Oh. So Manjita, the
Yeah.
must street food that people
Okay,
must
yeah.
have in Nepal.
Mm.
What would you say?
So I would say it would be Nevari food because the Nevari food is really like it's distinct from any food in the world. It's Nevari food that you can find in Nepal. And the other is the popular and the most loved by Nepalese and anyone who comes from anywhere in the world. When they come to Nepal, what they love is momos, the dumplings.
Momos.
The
Yeah,
dumplings.
momos is like really popular in Nepal, and it's loved by Nepalis as well as people from anywhere.
And it's
And
stuffed
Well,
with
do you-
what? The common? I mean, inside the dumplings. What is it? The most
the
common
meat,
stuff.
it's your choice of meat, but people love the buff momo more. It's the buffalo meat. Yeah.
Buffalo meat. All right.
Buffalo meat. Because you cannot eat cow meat. I heard that if you kill a cow, you get prison years in Nepal.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no beef.
João, if you kill a cow, Manjita will probably say it better, but you get like, I'm going to say a number, but like 10 years prison time?
I don't
It's
know about
crazy.
the thing, but it's you can still find like beef meat in 5-star hotels and all that. They
Oh.
import it from other countries. It's
Okay,
frozen
okay.
and available. It's available in some part of the country, but it's it's not accepted, I would
Yeah, I
say.
guess the same happens in
Yeah.
India, right? I'm not
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
if you go to the jail for 10 years in
Because
India, but
cow is God.
yeah, it's a guy, right? Yeah, it's just because of
Mm.
religion, right?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
because
Is it
most of
Hinduism or
yeah, Hindu.
Hinduism.
Buddhism? Sorry to
No,
Hindu.
cut you off,
Hinduism.
Manjita, but is it Hinduism? Okay.
Yeah.
Because Bhutan is the opposite, right? Bhutan is Buddhism mainly.
Yeah. Yes, it's Buddhism.
Interesting. Like I guess Asia has mostly it's two religions, but it's interesting how two countries like almost next to each other have like completely different religions.
Yeah.
Even would you say they're similar or are they like way too different from each other?
I mean, if how I like to think it is, if your home is somewhere and then there are neighbors, there gotta be some similarities between them. That's how it is with the country that are close to each other. Like the customs and all that stuff are similar when it comes to Nepal and India. Few of them are similar, few of them are different. That's how it is. They have their own, own unique personalities, but yet they are some way similar.
Sure.
India, Nepal, and few cultures in terms like when you relate it to China as well. Yeah. Like
Good to
dumplings.
hear. Yeah.
And Manjita,
Momos.
about the language, how is it? Is it too close to Indian? I mean, the Hindu Indian, or is it too far away from the side of the language for this family of languages? How do you say?
Nepali is completely different, but it is somewhat similar to Indian language as well, because the religion that we follow, the most of the people here follow Hinduism, and it's
Mm-hmm.
similar for India as well. And the language for Hinduism and all that, the script and the books are written in Sanskrit. So all these Indian language and Nepali language, they all originated from, from that Sanskrit. So obviously there will be some similarities. It is what happened is, for Nepali people, when we were children, when we were kids, we used to watch a lot of TV, and all those channels were in Indian language.
From India.
So Nepali people can really, we understand.
Understand.
Yeah, we understand. We even speak Indian language because, we can do it because we watched it throughout our childhood. So it's easy for us. And even Indian people, they can speak few Nepali words and they do understand. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yes.
Because
Oh, that's
yeah,
nice.
just before knowing the country and get to know about the stuff of the country, the first thing that comes to mind for people who might just first check about Nepal, that they would think that your language is close to, Chinese or kind of stuff. But then when you go deep into the culture, you just figured it out that the language is more similar to Hinduism just because of religion, which is
But then
fascinating.
again,
Which is fascinating.
yeah.
No, go, Manjita. Go.
But then again, like I said, Nepali language, right? It's the primary language. It's the national language, is what I call it. But then again, there are like many other,
Dialects.
yes, there are a lot of other people. There are
Variants.
different castes and all that, and they have another language. So yeah, there are several languages, and there's Nepali language. So it's not just
For
one language. These people have different languages as well.
for viewers, if you're interested in what that sounds like, go to My Darling Food, go to Manjita's Instagram account and hear her speak, because it's actually quite different from Chinese and quite different from Indian still. So it's
Yeah.
it's very fascinating. I would say it's very fascinating. Now,
Thank you.
I'm no, for sure. Obviously, the first thing that comes into people's minds when they think of Nepal is the Himalayas, right? The mountain range and Mount Everest. Um, you probably have heard like some crazy stories, but Mount Everest is insane. Like, I've been on a streak on YouTube these past weeks of like leisure activity tragic stories. I know this sounds morbid, but cave diving, mountaineering, all that shit. And Mount Everest is always on those videos. And the thought of you paying so much money to climb this mountain, and at a certain point, if you die, your body stays there. It
Yeah.
cannot be retrieved. You need oxygen masks. You need crazy clothes. You need to be so well prepared mentally, physically, to be able to do this. And yet, people still do it the wrong way so many times. Tell us,
Yeah.
like if you've met someone and like they've told you like crazy stories about going through Mount Everest and like that a whole objective. It's crazy.
I mean, you cannot tell anything to those people, right? I mean, that's their passion. If someone like came to me and said, "Oh, you shouldn't do this thing," and I'd be like, "No, bro, I want to do it," and you cannot stop them. And it's their passion. They want. It's the highest mountain in the world, and if someone is passionate about climbing mountains and going for adventure, it is their dream come true. Even to
It's
go
amazing.
in that path, even like getting to the base camp, it's the deal for them. It's a life goal. So if
Yeah.
someone goes there and yet doesn't make it, I don't think they would be in regret. I mean, obviously some regrets, but
A little bit, maybe.
made it.
Yeah.
They made
No,
it. Made it. They went there. At least they tried.
no, for sure. Like between getting run over in my hometown and dying in Mount Everest, please preserve my body in the snow in Mount Everest.
Exactly.
But oh my god, but it's so crazy to hear about those stories.
Yeah.
Like sometimes the bodies of the people are even marks for other mountaineers of like knowing where they are going. Like, oh, green boots is is like a path that I have to take, and then it's like a dead person with green boots, all those things. But I respect everyone who does it. Truly
Yes.
respect. I've never met anyone who did it, but I've heard stories of preparation, again, mentally and physically, and actually doing the whole thing and returning home and saying, I climbed 8 kilometers up on a mountain and came back down.
Yeah.
That's, yeah,
There
that's
was
a
a recent
crazy objective.
news actually. Hari Bahadur, he climbed Mount Everest. He returned back, and he half of his body don't work, so he made it. Yeah, a 13
Half of
year old, a 12-year old, a 14-year old, even they made it. So yeah, it is possible. It's not something that you cannot do. It's an example for each one of us that we can
Mhm.
do it, but
Wow.
gotta be really,
It's my
Yeah.
power.
it
Let's
is
go.
mine.
Yeah.
Let's go. He wants to go. He wants
Let's
to stand
go.
up
No,
right now.
yes, sir.
Let's
Yes,
go.
sir.
Mount
Let's
Everest,
go.
September.
Yes, sir. Yes, we can.
No. Actually, what you said is so true because, again, with these latest videos that I've been watching, there's also something which is, I would say, even crazier than mountaineering, which is cave diving. These people are not every day in the gym. These people, they're not buff, they're not everything, but they're strong mentally,
They're
because
just
being able
used
to
to.
explore a cave underwater where you can get lost in a mapped out cave so easily and still advance science, a lot of the times these are expeditions, is crazy to me, and I respect those people to the bottom of my heart. Especially there was this lady that she cave dived in Antarctica on a glacier. And for the
Okay.
people that don't understand, so cave diving is crazy enough because you can get lost so easily inside the caves. Glacier diving is even crazier because the glaciers, the formations inside the caves, are forever changing and the glacier is moving. So
It's
it's
dangerous.
insane. I will link up the story of her expedition. I think it was in 2000. It's an insane story for anyone who's wondering, but yeah, it's just like how capable humans can be to do things that people might not think it's capable, and this is one of them, like glacier diving, such as like climbing Mount Everest. So yeah, as humans, we can do shit. We can do shit if you want. Takes courage.
Yeah.
Takes courage, but we can do it. But we can do it. Wow. Going back to Nepal. Have you ever seen the Yeti? Let's be
No.
honest. Were you ever
Bro, come
hiking?
on.
This
Have you
is
ever seen him?
when you meet someone from Nepal, have you seen it? Dude, don't live there.
He
I
always
have
come
not.
up with this, Manjita. Don't, you know, don't,
I
don't
don't
keep it for
Everywhere
yourself.
went camping and seen the Yeti.
I don't know if it's true. I have not even seen yak. So how am I supposed to see Yeti? Oh.
Don't take it personally. He always do this. Every single episode, he come up with this, stereotypes
The
thing.
most dumber
But
shit
that's
ever.
a kind of goal of our podcast. We just want to break stereotypes. That's
Yeah.
our goal. We just
I
want
have
to
not
come
seen
up right
Yeti.
here.
Not yet. Not yet. Let's
Not
put it
yet,
there. He
yet. Not
exists.
Fine,
yet.
not yet.
Not
He
yet, yet.
exists. He's somewhere in the Himalayas,
Yeah.
pulling out a plan to conquer the world. Oh my god, I love that story. I think it's because of Monsters Inc. I think that was the first
Really?
movie that, for some reason, I
It
got
is
stuck in
somewhat
because
Might
similar,
be
right?
might be older, bro. Might be older.
Yeah, it's really old. The
Mm,
Yeti story
Yeah.
is really old.
Yeah.
It's really,
mm.
really old.
Can imagine. But for me, I think he came from Monsters Inc. because for some reason I remember the snow cones so much. If anyone has ever seen Monster Inc., which I'm pretty sure everyone did, he used to do snow cones. My mom found a place in the south of Portugal that sold snow cones, and
Yeah.
also because of Lilo and Stitch, because
In
it's
the
also a
south?
big Hawaiian thing.
The south of
Yeah, yeah,
Portugal?
yeah.
Really, man? Which
There was a
city?
store that sold. It was in. I think it was in Quarteira. I'm not too sure.
All
It
right,
was
all
a
right.
very long time ago. But the big difference is that snow cones is basically like ice, and then you pour like a flavor on top, and then you just eat the ice. But it tastes amazing. It tastes even better than ice
Like
cream for some reason.
snowflakes,
It's
right?
healthier. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
I recently tried one of those things. It
I
was
never
being
tasted.
it's a Korean ice cream and it's shaved ice cream. It's like snowflakes.
yes, that's the word.
It was
Shaved ice cream. Yeah,
mm, gone.
I love it. I love it, and it's healthier as well. All right, enough of snow cones. These all started because I was talking about Monsters Inc. Goddamn, goddamn.
The
Um,
mind.
also, like, back to the tourism thing. People might not know, but your capital has one of the densest concentrations of World Heritage sites, and it's a
Yeah.
beautiful location. Actually, we didn't even ask. Where are you from in Nepal? Are you from the capital or?
Yes, I am. I mean, Kathmandu was the capital, but it has changed to another like city, but yet the most populated place, and then the place that is most developed is obviously Kathmandu, and that's where I'm at.
Kathmandu.
Mm,
Yeah. When I was
Kathmandu.
this enthusiastic boy about capitals of the world, the first thing that people were asking, "What's the capital of Nepal?" I was saying Kathmandu. We're just like literally saying Kathmandu. That's it.
Kathmandu, yeah, yeah.
That's pretty cool. A pretty cool name in Portuguese. Sounds awesome in Portuguese. Kathmandu.
Okay.
Sounds
Kathmandu, yeah,
amazing.
it does, it does.
It sounds
It's good to
awesome.
remember, actually.
Yeah, pretty
It's good to
good.
remember.
There's a brand as well. Like it's a foreign brand. It's a popular brand somewhere in Australia, I think. Australia. I don't know, but it is Kathmandu.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I've
Amazing.
seen people actually wearing those clothes because there's a couple of Australians
Yeah.
here in Chile.
They
Yeah, you're
even
right.
take
Is
You're
like
right.
it
photos
is it
and post
is
it.
it a clove?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
a
Yeah,
clove brand? Oh,
absolutely.
okay.
Right.
Mhm,
All right.
mhm.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But I was gonna ask, do you see a lot of tourists in your capital, or is it mostly a stop by to go to do
Everest.
the crazy activities like climbing the mountains and doing all sorts of things? Yeah, in the mountains.
So the international airport is in Kathmandu. So obviously people have to, come to Kathmandu to go anywhere else in Nepal.
Hmm.
So they come here, they land here in Nepal. I mean Kathmandu, Nepal, and then they hotels. They go to their hotels. Some of them are here because they're here just for the adventure, and they stay here a day too, and then they head to their destinations, which is somewhere else in the mountains and all that stuff. But the other people, they come for religious, cultural tourism, which is they travel the different temples and monuments here in Kathmandu, as well as the other cities in Nepal. So it really depends on what's the purpose of their tourism, whether they're coming here just for adventure, or they're coming here for, the monuments and all that stuff, or they just
Hmm.
want to hang out, they just want to see what Nepal looks like. But they have to come to Kathmandu to go anywhere else in Nepal. So you'll
And you
see.
would recommend, yeah,
Yeah,
and you would recommend to stay at least like 3 days in the capital just to sightsee the cultural side of Nepal as well, right?
yeah, I mean, if you come to Kathmandu and then like stay a few days, then go to the rest of your plans, then you'll come to know how the people are. You'll get a bit used to it, the culture, and what you're supposed to do,
Mhm.
what you're not supposed to do, because it's really difficult to travel the rest of the cities without getting to know how the people are and how you can access to things.
No, for sure. And I would
Sure.
say like when they do those activities, they're doing them with other tourists. They're not doing them with Nepalians, unless
Mhm.
they've got a Sherpa around them. Um, that's a whole different topic. Actually, we'll cover that in a minute. But I saw a few pictures of these World Heritage sites of Nepal, and I would tell anyone like stay a few days before your activities, like just relax a little bit, especially because these activities you need to be relaxed. So relax a little bit in the food culture and in the cult in the sightsee culture that the capital has to offer, and then go do those activities because it's absolutely
And it's
gorgeous,
beautiful, man.
absolutely
It's
gorgeous,
beautiful country.
and
There
And
are
the
like,
very
capital
I think
spiritual.
itself,
five.
yeah.
I think there are 5 World Heritages here in Kathmandu itself, which is Kathmandu Darbar Square, Bhaktapur Darbar Square, Patan Darbar Square, and then Bodhanath Stupa, Swambhunath. 5 of these are in Kathmandu. It's easily accessible, and they are like quite different from, all the other places in anywhere in Nepal. So when you come to Nepal, you gotta visit these 5 places, and they're
Mm,
close to Kathmandu. It is in Kathmandu, so why not?
Yeah, sure.
You're
for
here.
sure. Now, Sherpas,
Okay.
like, are you against it? Because whenever I see those videos, I feel bad. Now, I don't know if they do it because they love it or if they do it just because of the cash. But like, explain to the audience, what are Sherpas?
Sherpas are the ones who, they live near the mountains, and they are walking around the mountains. They are not climbing, they are walking because they are like so used to it. So it's their profession is what I'd call it, because they are the ones who guide you on how to climb the mountains. They are the ones who will take you there. They are the ones who will give you the path and all that. So these are the guides who will take you there. So why be against it? I didn't
I
get
was
that.
I was talking mostly of the people who walk with the tourist bags. Those are not
Yeah.
called Sherpas, or do they have a different name? Like the ones that
uh
have a lot of the bags, right? They put the
Yeah.
string in their head and they climb
yeah,
with the bags.
I
So
mean,
are
it's
those
their
called?
profession. It's not that. Sorry, there's a plane. I live nearby the airport, so it's
No, no
making
worries. I
sound.
mean,
No, no, no.
Did you hear that
We
sound?
can even hear it.
yeah,
No, no,
we
no, no,
can
no.
even hear.
I
Yeah,
thought because it was like too loud.
no worries.
So I was saying, they are
Mm.
Sherpas, and they live nearby, and the only source of income is doing that.
Sure.
So if you live in Kathmandu, there are like a lot of options for you. You can, teach, you can like do other stuff. You can do a lot of many other professions. You can work in a lot of many places, but that's not the case when it comes to the people who live in
The
mountains.
mountains, right? Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah,
yeah.
they gotta
That's the
do.
opportunity he saw, right? And
Yeah.
then he used to walking on the mountains. He's used to more
Yes.
than people, and then he used this, skill he got to
Yes.
get money as well. Yeah, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
see any negative point. The only negative we see is it's like, you know, uh, it's pretty lame when you see someone carrying your bag.
That's what I
You
was
think
saying.
that
Like,
you can care by yourself, and then
Mhm.
you see someone that you're
Maybe
paying
not.
for carrying on. So it's like it sounds slave very a bit. I
yeah,
just
yeah.
want to, I
Like
don't want to use this word, but it sounds
from my perspective, just so the audience can
yeah,
understand, whenever you go on like Instagram Reels, let's call it that, or TikTok,
yeah,
you see these videos of these very rich white people without
Mhm.
anything, and then you see these Napoleon
carrying the
walking
bag.
with 20-kilo bags, 40
Yeah,
kilo bags. They've got a string off on their head. And obviously, I've never talked with a Sherpa before. I don't
Mhm.
know if they love it, if they hate it. I don't know. But from a viewer standpoint of view,
yeah,
they're a slave, right?
yeah, yeah.
But now, Manjita, now that you're here, please
Mhm.
tell us: do they like it or do they hate it?
Even I have not talked to, a Serpa, just like you asked me
Mm.
if I've seen a Yeti. right? So I've not been to the
They're
mountains.
also
All the
legend.
I've not been to the mountains. And if you talk about me, I mean, I'm not someone who can walk. So if you told me that, okay, Manjita, you got to go to the mountains, I'll give you this much cash or something like that, is why I'll go to the mountains,
I got you.
on foot. So yeah, if that was the reason why I was going, or I wanted to go there, I had a lot of cash in my hand, but I was unable to carry all the load, because the difference when it comes to walking without any load and uh, with load, it's different. You can walk a lot more when it's without the load. So if there's someone who wants to go there but cannot, carry all that stuff, and there is the
Mhm.
availability of someone who can carry it for you, and the person who's there is taking it as an opportunity to earn money, then I
Mhm.
don't think that's
Perfect.
wrong,
Yeah,
because
no, I got
there
you.
are there are a lot of porters in the world, right? You'll
Yeah.
see in like train stations, bus stations, even in the places which has a lot of business, and they are the porters are the one who carry it for them. So if that's not wrong, then why is the Sherpas carrying it wrong?
No, for sure,
Doesn't.
for sure, for sure.
No, for sure.
I,
Yeah,
I would
seeing this
love to
perspective.
once. No, yeah, 100%. I would love to once just talk with with a Sherpa. If I
Yeah.
ever go to Nepal and if I ever go to the mountains, I would love to have a full blown conversation with the Sherpas, just so I
Yeah.
can get his perspective right,
Perspective. Yeah.
Yeah.
and yeah, just talk to him about like his experience about, because these people, they do this almost every day, and
Yeah.
their physique, by the way, and
Yeah,
mental
they're
state.
goats, bro.
Wow,
They're goats. They're
wow,
goats. They climb
yes,
the
yes.
mountain very fast. That's
They're the
crazy.
Yeah. I
real
mean,
goats, not LeBron James. They're the real
Yeah,
goats.
not Tom
For
Brady,
sure.
man. Get out of here, Brady boy.
Yeah, give that title to the Sherpas
The
in
Sherpa.
Nepal. Let's go.
Amazing. And
Oh,
Manjita, just yeah, before we doing the last question of our podcast, I was just wondering, how was your childhood right there in Nepal, growing up as a kid? The activities you used to do on streets, and just
okay.
playing with your
That's kind of
friends and
a
kind
fun
of
one.
stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
because that's the question we always do on the podcast, because we just want to see how different it is, the childhood in each country.
So actually I am Navar. So like I said, like different caste is there in Nepal, right? So I am a Navar. That's why maybe I said Nevari food is the best because that's what I've been eating all my life. But yeah, a lot of
Waving
people
your
love it.
flag.
Yeah,
we love
but
someone who's biased.
many
Let's
people
go.
most of the people love it. So there's like the Himalayan region, the mountains, and there's the hilly region, and then there's Tarai, which is the plains of Nepal. So there are three different regions, and I actually grew up in the plains of Tarai, the lower part, and then right now I'm in Kathmandu. But my childhood, I spent my entire childhood. I studied there till grade 4 in Tarai, so it was a lot different from the ones who grew up in Kathmandu. What I
Mm.
used to do was, when I think about my childhood in Tarai, it was not, uh, the kids from of my age, the friends that I made in Kathmandu and the childhood that I spent is totally different, because the people, the kids here used to watch TV back then, but that was not accessible in Tarai. And
Mm.
what I used to do is, with my friends, I used to play in the fields. I was outdoors. I used to climb the
Amazing.
trees. Yeah, I used to pick the fruits from the trees. I used to eat them. We used to have picnic we used to cook using two bricks and then putting all the woods, and we used to do that. It was like so much fun. We would be in the sand, in the soil, so dirty. That's how my childhood was. Yeah. It
That's
Amazing.
was
amazing to hear. I
all
love
about
that.
it. The kids nowadays, they're like more on the TV, their tablets and YouTube. They're like on YouTube
Yeah,
all the time. What they
that's the
see and all.
negative point of technology, right? I guess my generation was the last who, was playing on the fields. I can picture what you were saying. I was picturing in my mind, because passed through the same during my childhood right here in Brazil. It was pretty much going to the streets and having fun with my friends, playing soccer. Yeah, exactly. And we were living, right? And nowadays it's hard to see, when I'll be a father, how is going with my kid. If I'm teaching, hey, just go to the streets, but the streets are dangerous. And then you have, all this. This is crazy. I mean, the technology
That's
and
something that's something that is
that's
insane, right?
insane,
Like
bro. Insane.
nowadays, you
Yeah.
would think that it's more dangerous for kids to go outside, even though back in the day, it always also was dangerous. But why is it
Yep.
more dangerous now? Is it
Yeah.
because of media, how they portray, like, or how they like just market crimes right to people to scare them, and they're like, I don't want my kid outside. Here's a tablet.
Yeah, that's
Enjoy
one
YouTube.
reason. That's one reason, but there are lots of reasons, because
Mm.
as the technology is developing, things are getting worse. You can get blackmail on the internet. You can just go to the street and people knows where you're going. Back in the days, people didn't know where you're going. So it's just the technology made this, more dangerous, let's say.
Yeah.
So
But in
that's
Nepal,
why.
I think the parents, I mean, back in the days during my childhood, my parents used to be around me. But nowadays, what happens in Nepal is the parents are, they're employed. They have to go to
Working a
work.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like really busy. So they gotta, finish the work that they have to do with the child. They gotta feed them the meal. Okay, I gotta feed them. So the only way to feed them fast is when you give them a tablet. They're watching something and then they're eating, but they don't know they're eating. So that's how
Mm.
it has evolved in Nepal. That's how I see it when I see my relatives feeding their kids and all that. So yeah, I think that's one of the reason they don't go out.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my kid playing hide and seek in like the streets. I'm gonna say, I
Me
don't care if you
either,
get
man.
kidnapped.
Me either.
Go hide
No, I won't
and
have this
seek.
mindset. I won't have this
Okay.
mindset, but
Here's
I
a here's
definitely
a phone.
play hide and
Here's
seek with them.
911. That's all you need to know.
Come on.
Oh my god,
Amazing. So, Gui,
this was
feel
great.
free to do the question you do every single episode.
Okay,
Mike is
what
open
is
for
100%.
you, man.
Manjita, this was amazing. I've missed
Amazing.
recording. Oh my god, and the
Me
flow
either,
is still
man.
there.
Yep.
And the flow is still there. So thank you so much, Manjita, especially this amazing country, which is again known and not also very known. So thank you for representing the country and bringing like food knowledge and country cultural knowledge, right? Um,
Breaking
and to
stereotypes.
end breaking the stereotypes and ending our podcast, I'm going to ask you an opening question, and that is, what is the thing that makes you the most proud about being from Nepal? What would you
okay?
say?
Hmm.
If
My
someone
God, that's
comes to
spicy.
you, yeah, but
When
if
Sonny
someone comes to
came to
you,
you and then you're
yes, let's
wondering.
let's put Sonny. Sonny reach out to you. He's like, I mean, he already knows you're from Nepal, but imagine he didn't know you're from Nepal, and you say to him,
Yeah.
"I'm from Nepal," and what is the thing that follows that then that represents like you and something that you kind of say that talks about Nepal that says, "Yeah, I love my
It's
country because of this."
definitely the people, how
Mm,
welcoming we are. We're like always there to help. Yeah, even when you see someone, like when there's a tourist walking by and when they ask anything or when they need some help, you never say no. I mean, we're just really there's a word in, like, there's a quote in Sanskrit which says uh, what's that quote? Ah, Atiti Debo Baba, which means the guests are our God. So that's how we treat everyone who comes to Nepal, and that open heart, that warmth. What makes you feel like you're at home is what makes Nepal, the Nepali people, is what makes Nepal, different. Yeah. Oh my
That's
God, I just
beautiful.
got goosebumps.
That's
no, I
beautiful.
love that. I
Yeah,
love
that's
that quote.
beautiful. That's
The guest is our
beautiful.
God. Oh my God, it's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I would say that also like kind of is represented by, the religion that's predominant in the
Yeah.
country, like Hinduism and Buddhism as well. A little bit is this like wanting to help others so much just because
Yeah.
you feel the need to. Like there's no material driven
Yeah.
thought. It's just
Yes.
you
Yes.
wanting to do good, like a superhero, basically. Being a superhero. And that's something that is missed a lot in the West, well, what people call the West, right? First world country that would include Europe and North America. And that's something that I really want to experience. Just that heart that Asian people have,
Yeah,
Nepalians,
you guys are chill. You guys are easygoing, and that's
yeah.
amazing.
And just the happiness that
We
those
have
countries
we
have.
have to we have lots of to learn from you guys. Lots,
Mm-hmm.
lots, lots, lots. And
100%.
that's how we try to do with this podcast as well. After episodes and episodes, just trying to learn a bit from you guys, and that's one of the episodes that we've learned a lot from you. Thank you so much, Manjita.
Thank you so much. I had a great time. It didn't feel like it has been an hour.
Yeah, crazy,
Literally.
crazy, for sure. So to our listeners, thank you so much for listening until now. Be sure, of course, to follow us on our on. Oh my god, I just had a a little bit of a stroke. Follow us on all our social medias, and that is at podcast WWP, including Facebook, Instagram, and obviously listen to all our listening platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts if
Yeah,
you have
on
some time.
Spotify, there is a box right now on Spotify where you can leave a review as well. So
Oh,
That I did not know. So
yeah,
please do
yeah.
that as
please
well.
do
That's
that. Yeah,
crazy.
please do that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Spotify
it's
now has
new. It's an
reviews.
update. Yeah, it's been a
Oh.
month. Spotify has released it. So yeah,
You know what's
thank you so much,
crazy?
Spotify.
I
Right.
don't understand how that hasn't been longer.
Before, yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah,
Apple
yeah,
Podcast has been having
yeah,
reviews
yeah.
and this amount of like shareability for such a long time. And now Spotify was just like, yeah, let's do it.
And a
Years
platform
later.
that millions of people
Has the
use.
most
So
listeners on podcasts,
yeah,
I would say, yeah.
yeah,
Now
for
it's
sure.
like, okay, let's do like this review
Just
thing to kind of put podcasts on the top finally.
yeah,
Algorithm stuff. So,
yeah.
and obviously, guys, check out Manjita's accounts on Instagram, and that is at my darling food. Did I say that right?
Yes, correct.
At my darling food. Perfect. Go watch her food videos, learn a little bit of Nepalian language, and just watch. I would say, just like for the curiosity, just watch her videos just to see Nepal. Because I feel like
Yeah, yeah.
people usually watch social media videos just because they're so curious and interesting, just to see like how certain countries and people behave, right, in different cultures. So for sure, and see what Nepalian food is like, and maybe tastes like as well,
Exactly.
from the reviews of Manjita.
Do
So
do before you eat.
Amazing. So see you, my dears. See you in the next episode. Thank you so much for staying with us until right now. See you.
bye
Bye bye.
bye.